Hey guys, Krzysztof the Polish Geek and welcome to the review of Thanksgiving. But before we start talking about Thanksgiving, first I want to say I kind of like holiday movies. I don't know why, but I'm kind of like an aficionado of holiday movies. Although Thanksgiving isn't celebrated here in Poland, it's like a very strictly an American holiday. I lived in the United States for 8 years, as you probably already know, and couple of times I went to a friend's house for Thanksgiving from my boarding school and my college. Yeah, I went to a friend's house, to a couple different friends' houses for Thanksgiving, and I always had a really good time. So I have a pretty good idea of what Thanksgiving is like, and I did really enjoy that holiday. I like the turkey, the stuffing. So yeah. So, of course, I got a little bit curious about Thanksgiving. And what I think of Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving is actually a pretty good slasher, because keep in mind, slasher is not very much my go-to genre. In fact, horror in general is not like my go-to genre. There are several really great horror movies, don't get me wrong, but horror is not in general my go-to genre, and certainly not slasher. Like, besides early Scream movies, I can't say I like slasher genre particularly. But after I've been hearing some good and interesting things about Thanksgiving, I decided to go see it. I like Thanksgiving, plus I've been hearing good things about this movie, so why not? Because in general, I find most slashers to be like bland, cheesy, stupid, and I never really enjoyed them. But as I just said, Thanksgiving was the exception, and I had a pretty good time with Thanksgiving, and it's certainly a much better movie than Scream this year. The story of the movie takes place in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Funny, I just been to Massachusetts 2 weeks ago, not to Plymouth, but still. And a riot erupts in a store and several people die, and then a year later a serial killer wearing John Carver mask hunts down all the people that participated in the riot, with a group of teenagers being his main targets, but he's saving them for last. Among other things, what really impressed me about Thanksgiving is that this movie almost immediately managed to introduce all the main characters, as well as establish their relationships, conflicts, and actually made you really care about them and what happens to them. Like, in most slasher movies, I can't really say I care about main characters, but here I very much did, and my favorite was the lead girl, Jessica. And I like that she wasn't just there to be a main target of John Carver. No, she was an actual really well done character with personality, personal struggles, and you really wanted her to survive, and you also very much cared about what happens to her friends too. Most of early John Carver's victims, though, were actually greedy assholes, although they still most certainly did not deserve what he was doing to them. But still, sometimes it could be hard to feel sorry for at least some of them. But I think it's also pretty good filmmaking. Make you hate the characters, while at the same time make you still feel sorry for them and root for them to escape from the serial killer, even though you obviously know the slasher genre, so you obviously know they won't. And I thought John Carver was great. I think John Carver deserves to become another horror icon like Freddy Krueger, Jason, Ghostface. Yeah, I thought he was really creepy and scary. Like, the John Carver mask was really cool, and and even though most slasher villains nowadays aren't even that intimidating, but he actually managed to be it. And also, the reveal of his real identity was very unpredictable to me. I actually heard some people predicted his identity and figured it out, but I wasn't one of them. So, I mean, I did ultimately predict it 5 minutes before it was actually revealed, but the fact that it still, his true identity managed to be hidden from me throughout most of the movie still is, I consider, a huge accomplishment. The movie was also very violent and gory, and if you've been watching me, you know I actually like violent and gory movies, but I'm not going to lie, the violence and gore here was so over the top, sometimes it was even too extreme even for me. But still, that should not stop you from seeing Thanksgiving. you especially should see Thanksgiving if you like slasher genres. Like, I don't really care for slasher genres, and I had a really good time with Thanksgiving. It had really good, well-written characters, decent story, a very scary horror villain that deserves to join other horror icons, as well as make some really good points about human nature and overall creepy atmosphere. And while I do think violence was a little bit over the top at some places, it still doesn't take away from all those other good things about this movie. So, as surprised as I'm to say it, Thanksgiving is a really good slasher, and take it from someone who isn't particularly into slasher genre. But here is my review of Thanksgiving, and go see Thanksgiving. Please press the like button, please subscribe to this channel, and I'll talk to you soon in another video. Talk to you soon, bye!